Oh, I know who Patty Considine is.
Yeah.
I saw him without the stupid wig.
Oh, yeah. He's handsome. I think he's handsome.
Well, I said that in the previous episode
Yeah.
where I was like, I mean, he's not like hot, but
no, but he's handsome. They in the like behind the scenes thing after the episode, they interviewed Reese Fonz, and his little Welsh accent is so silly.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is why I'm watching House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 4.
King of the Narrow Sea.
So, this show, up until this point, and frankly, even including this episode, has been a bit of a slow burn. And to quote wise prophet Casey Musgraves, follow your arrow. No. We are all right with a slow burn.
We are. I
loved this episode.
Really liked this episode. It was so good.
It was the embodiment of like...
Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. It also...
I feel like nothing really happened, but everything happened.
It was like... it was so good, though.
I feel like you have opinion.
I have so many opinions.
How many things did this awaken in you?
Awaken? It just, like... It was giving me all the things I wanted. It's also, I think, very important to note, which the behind-the-scenes thing did. This was directed by a woman. Her name is Claire Kilner. It's evident. It's important.
It really was.
We got 2 more peeps.
And a half.
2 peeps and a half. Yeah.
We got 2 because the prop one.
Yeah.
So we officially...
Oh, the rope
yeah.
peep? Yeah.
So we officially, I would say Peep Watch has 3. And
yeah.
There might be another one we'll have to scrub through. We'll update it. I'll do the hard.
We'll do the hard work. Yeah.
Plot wise, basically, Daemon came back. Has it been he's a year or so?
I guess I would probably say like roughly a year because
the girls seem like they're solidly 19, like 18, 19
and
now.
Rhaenyra has been away on like a tour, and she came back 2 months early. But then also at the play at night, they said something about the boy being 3.
Okay.
And Alicent has had the second baby.
Mm-hmm.
So
Daemon comes back. He's cut his hair for some reason, and had this really silly crown. And
for a minute, I thought it was made out of crab legs.
Oh,
but I think it was just like driftwood or like bones.
I thought it was bone.
Yeah.
Well, it actually opened with her. I like Millie. This is a very standard, typical. I'm not going to go as far as to say cliche, but this is a very standard princess trope, and she's managing to not make it feel leaden and not making like I'm like okay because it opened actually with her receiving suitors.
A really old man who she insulted, and the guy was like, that wasn't very well done or whatever, and she was like, I don't super care.
And then there was a young guy, and then there was a dick, and then they got into a fight, and the young guy like that was great.
No, he was like a boy. He must have been like 13, and he fucking demolished that huge turd.
But so Daemon came back, and he was like, they made me king of the narrow sea, but that's not how we do things around here, so I came to give you my crown and re-swear my loyalty to you.
He bent the knee. He did it. Yeah, he did all the things you're supposed to do.
And they're mad. They were mad at Rhaenyra because she cut the thing short, and she's just been difficult. And which, I mean, is Rhaenyra special? And so
I largely am finding it compelling though. I'm not annoyed with it.
But you knew the second, or they teased you where the second she realized, well, he almost knocked her over with the dragon.
Her ship. And
then the second that she realized it was him, she had this like tiny like.
She was also wearing the necklace that he gave her.
I forgot about that.
In the first episode. That's why she kept fingering it the whole time. But very specifically, she's not wearing it at the end of the episode. She's wearing a gold thing with like 3 rubies set in it.
And so he like slipped the map in her stuff.
It was the whole bundle of boys' clothes. That's why she looked so confused, as he left the boys' clothes for her as well. And then the map was inside it.
And so they went out and explored the town, and they got in trouble because there was a gossip monger, like a little boy was spying on them, yada yada. That was the plot.
You have buried the lead.
I was saying that was like the plot.
Oh, okay. Like, you can't just hand wave all of it away with explored the town after dark.
No, I mean, like, that's like what happened, but no. So
they were having just like a regular good time. They were like drinking and hanging out and like walking around. They watched that play.
Well, that's kind of what I thought he was doing, is I thought he was trying to be like, I thought he was trying to help her out in the, like, look at what they're saying behind our backs.
No.
Like, look at what they think of us. I mean, was that not part of it?
I don't think so.
I think it was, but okay.
Well, I mean, he basically was like, it doesn't, if you want to unify them, you have to like know what they're saying or whatever. But it's like, I want to go back a little bit to when they were, not in the Godswood, but they were having like a little tete-a-tete. They are the only ones that speak in Old Valyrian to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I find that very interesting and fascinating. I like that. And then they basically were talking about like him like being married. She doesn't want to be married. She wants to be solitary and all of this stuff. And so part of it was like he was trying to show her what she could do once she is married. Because it's very like in Bridgerton, there was the whole thing where once she gets married, they're all like, oh, no, you don't have to hang out with your husband. Like, you can do literally whatever. Now that you're married, you're kind of like inoculated from the gossip. It doesn't really matter anymore because you have your station. And so I really liked all of that aspect of it. And then I mean, it's obvious that he was doing it to try to get her in trouble, but I think he also wanted it.
You think he was trying to get her in trouble? I didn't get that.
Okay, well, he 100% was, because it was in the behind the scenes thing as well.
Oh.
It's a little bit clear once you reach the end conclusion of the episode, and also when Viserys is confronting him, it's like clear.
Well, I got that he didn't, like, he kind of wanted Viserys to think that something happened, even though it didn't. Yeah. But I mean, kind of. Mm-hmm. But I just thought I thought it was that, like, much needed when you get the older mentor that like convinces you that there's like stuff to see in the world and it's worth like cheating every so often, or not cheating, but like being bad, like not always doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah. And it was so
that's the other thing too, which we all, when they said it on the behind the scenes thing, we all were like, they did not put that out there enough. The issue is that once they start kissing, he thinks she's going to be scared of it. And like that she's going to balk and pull back. But it excites her and she keeps going and then he can't get it up.
Oh, I didn't understand what happened.
That's why he ran away.
Oh, I did not get that.
No,
she was not. Bluff?
It was not clear enough, but yes. Essentially, yes, she was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay. And then because she wasn't like scared of it, he couldn't get it up, which is gross. Yeah. But before that, it was really sexy.
It was very.
They were holding hands also on like most of their walk through everything. I don't know. I really quite enjoyed it.
Also, we don't give a fuck that they're cousins or whatever. So
he's her uncle.
We're just blood. Yeah. We're watching a fantasy show.
Well, it's the Targaryens.
We're watching a fantasy show about medieval tropes, and it's Targaryens, and so we're just not spare me your middle class morality.
No, I'm not talking about. I absolutely do not endorse incest in real life. Just, of course.
But no, it was good.
Yeah.
All of this was juxtaposed against a montage of everybody shitting on Alicent. My girl. Although she came in real hot in
a couple times.
Was it the Godswood?
Yeah.
The red tree?
Yeah.
Where she like was giving Rhaenyra a heads up, but it was really judgy.
Yeah.
And I thought, with all that we've been through, again, my girl, I put my neck out for her. Yeah. And I thought, you're not doing great with this.
So the only thing I'll give her is that Rhaenyra's not married yet. So her reputation is still way up for grabs.
Yeah, but they were all talking in such certainty. And I was like,
you don't have video footage of this.
Yeah, I was like, an urchin said so.
You have, the word of one small boy who was clearly working for Daemon's sex worker lover, Sonoya.
Missaria.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Yeah, Missaria.
So so the urchin's a double agent?
I don't know, because he brought back the money to her. I'm pretty sure that was the same boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't fully get that. And also it seems like her and Daemon are past their honeymoon phase. I mean, he did embarrass her, but again, In front of what? Some soldiers?
I also don't. I think they're not even together anymore because it appeared like they hadn't seen each other in years. Because she was like, I found a new way.
Oh, so he was just back at the Silk Row or whatever?
I think he just fell asleep there.
Oh, that was weird.
Super
I don't know
weird.
how I feel about that.
Well, the brothel they were in was on the Silk Road too, so.
But I had assumed he went back to his quarters where his mistress was. And the way we just repositioned it, it was like, oh, you're here.
Yeah, I don't think, and then she was like, you can pay for your room on the way out. I don't think they're together anymore.
That was not made clear.
Yeah.
You need to...
They also keep trying to send him back to his ugly wife in the Vale, and I'm just like, I don't think Daemon is going back to the Vale, although it does look like next week he's back in the Vale.
I didn't see the preview.
The,
Floating castle?
No, the, landscape looked like the last time we saw the Vale.
So Rhaenyra did come back, though, and... That's what I mean. I was like, how many boxes was this checking?
It's so good. Here's the thing, too. Again, because it was directed by a woman, and I think...
It was slightly gender swapped.
And I think this production is taking a lot of care with the sex scenes, because I have not felt anything exploitative yet.
I was waiting for Chris. Well, because it was... He was not quite consenting in the beginning. And so I was sort of waiting for him to be like, oh.
He kind of was. He wasn't not doing that. But I think what's really interesting and what really struck out to me.
I was going to objectify him.
He is very...
The shot of his back.
Yeah.
And the
divider.
The divider was right at mid hip.
Yeah.
So you had some butt, but not all of it.
Little tiny butt. I really enjoyed the way it was filmed. I really like the way they presented it, where she was being very playful about it. They got her giggling in it. They're both smiling at each other. It didn't seem like...
Even Alicent stuff was very female, POV.
Yeah. It didn't... So we didn't even see Viserys' face once while he was thrusting away on top of her with his rotten body.
You're doing amazing, sweetheart. She was doing so because there was she was sort of like,
she's
and then every fourth there was like a.
She's gone behind the eyes. There, she's not in it at all.
When the maid knocks on the door, she's like,
"What?"
She just was in her nightgown.
It was beautiful, beautiful nightgown. So many good dresses this episode too.
These costumes are gorgeous. I think they're better than
Rhaenyra on the tour. That off the shoulder with the cape sleeves. Ugh.
And then it had a over it, and all three of Alicent's were good, especially the one
in the Godswood with the ruffly sleeves. Amazing. It's great. So yeah, she bones down with Sir Criston, who really drug his feet about the oath he's taken, which apparently it is an oath of celibacy. I thought it was just you can't get married. I thought it was kind of like the Night's Watch.
But that's why it's good.
Yeah.
And so, there were, as much as I enjoyed it, there were a lot of people just jumping to absolute conclusions.
Yeah.
Because Otto is the one who told
Viserys.
Well, before we sat down, I was like, I got it. I got all their names.
It's so many people, and when you're saying it one right after the other, I totally get it.
Well, especially with Rhaenyra and Viserys, and it's I remember, I'm like, wait, no, that's from the other show.
Yeah.
And that's where it throws me.
Well, there is a Viserys on the other show. It's Dany's brother. Yeah.
So yeah, Otto tells Viserys that he's the one that tells them that she went out and did this stuff. And yeah, I don't know.
I think they've both overplayed their hand. I think Otto and Viserys have overplayed their hand. I think Otto overplayed it by bringing this up now and not at a more opportune moment, or waited to gather more proof. And I think Viserys overplayed his hand by taking the hand of the king away so quickly. It's they both are not keeping their enemies closer.
Well, I will say, I guess it's noteworthy that it does seem that Viserys really holds Alicent's opinion because after she talked to Rhaenyra is when he went in on Otto.
Yeah.
So it's and there was even another scene in this episode
because Rhaenyra also
him, and it seems like he really
So I think it's very interesting. Okay, first of all, also Rhaenyra was like, I think you need to clean your house. Like, get your fucking house in order before you make me marry my cousin. Also, Daemon wanted her. He was like, I want you to marry me to her. And it's like, again, it's like, we've already had this discussion. You already have a wife. It doesn't seem like we're going to allow you to have a second one. But regarding Alicent and the king, what I find very fascinating is that Viserys realizes in this episode that it was Otto's like scheming that was the reason that Alicent like helped him grieve.
But he seems to not be taking that out on her though.
Exactly.
Which makes me wonder if there's like a deleted scene or if that's just how much he...
No, I think he truly likes her. I think they like each other. But Otto is like...
It's like the epitome of the marriages of the time.
Sure. I think again, Otto overplaying his hand is like, my daughter loves you. And I'm like, no, she doesn't love him. She doesn't love the king. She's not in love with him. But I think there's like such a really remarkable, interesting...
There's a fondness and there's absolutely
respect.
A sense of duty. And she takes her job seriously.
Queenly duties.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's one of those examples. And I think this is where the rift between them could continue, is that she could resent Rhaenyra because it's like she did things the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
She did things the way that she was supposed to, and Rhaenyra's going to go and break rules.
Exactly. I just think the sense of respect that they have in their marriage, especially with like, what do we imagine, like a 30-year age difference at least? I think that's really fascinating. And the fact that, like you said, he seems to take her opinion very seriously because she says the words, she's like, Rhaenyra is not prone to deceit, but your brother is. So, like, who is more likely to be lying, Rhaenyra or Daemon? And Rhaenyra is not lying about the Daemon part of it, but then she does swear she's never slept with anyone. And it's like, girly, please.
I'm terrified this is going to end with Kristen's head on a stake.
Yeah, not me.
Am I doing that thing where I'm saying the vowel wrong? And so
No,
oh, okay.
No. I wouldn't know how to tell you to say that, so it sounded different than
Lord
my name.
Kristen.
Yeah. I really enjoy that. I'm sort of interested in this marriage with what's his name? The sea snake's son, Corlys' son.
I'm interested to meet that. Well, we met the son last week. I'm interested to meet the daughter, older.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see what they're like.
Me as well.
So, let us know what you think. Are you is anyone into the Rhaenyra and Daemon thing? Or are we the perverts?
I am way into it as like a
taboo fantasy,
like a taboo dalliance that they're having, like a saucy dalliance. But I mean, they can't get married. Although if they did have children, that would explain how we end up with the Mad King, for sure. Just start inbreeding.
I also feel like they would be fun, but I feel like he's bad for her.
Oh, they're bad for each other. Yeah. Well, and also if she's into it and he can't get it up, then there doesn't seem to be any use for it. So. But yeah, I'm interested in that marriage. I'm interested to see if Otto gets more or less dangerous being removed from his office, because he's not as sketchy as like Varys, but he tended towards optimism anyway. So
it also did end with the king sending Rhaenyra a potion, a plan B.
Yeah.
So either he doesn't believe her or just wants to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, just
in case.
I would want to be like, I would want my father to believe me, but I would also want the tea. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I really quite loved it. I think we have one more episode with the young cast.
5. And
then I think we're switching. And I'm going to miss them. I think Millie Alcock is really, really good. I really like her quite a lot. And I am excited.
And I will say, this goes back to the slow burn part of it, is I am excited to kind of keep watching this because I genuinely kind of don't know what we're building to.
Yeah.
With the first Game of Thrones, you kind of at least had a sense of where we were.
Okay, you're totally right, because that's also something where it's like, I'm looking for those things now, to the point where you were like, episode 9 is going to end with like
Daemon's getting his head cut off, and we're all going to be there going,
shocked Pikachu. And so I sort of, when Otto entered the small council room alone and the king was, my heart dropped out of my stomach. I was like, oh God, we're starting this already. But it was because I was worried about Viserys. I mean, he is, again, rotting from the inside out, but so he's not long for this world, but still.
So, okay. Well, that was our conversation about episode 4. We'll see you back next week to talk about episode 5.